Hi guys, I'm Alex and I'm going to use Divergent and Hunger Games to discuss the chapter because I really like the movies and I read the books in high school and I got the whole thing going for me. But the first thing, sorry, my computer's moving around a lot. The first thought was the dominant ideologies that seem to play in the society in the film. In the Hunger Games, there's a very strict culture. Everything is set in place and it was decided from the beginning that the 12 districts would be a good plan. They thought that having everyone divided by what they could bring, what they could provide to the nation, or I don't really know what the word is to call the area as a whole, would be the best way to do it. So they set forward a strict ideology, and everyone's very submissive, depending upon where they're from. Like District 12, where Katniss is from, everyone's very submissive, scared, they're very poor. No one's very outgoing. It's just like a quiet, kind of like somber area. And as you see throughout the films, different districts had different attributes. Some were much better off. Um, it definitely gives an idea of like our culture, and you can see the different views. Not different views, the different characteristics and traits of different areas. The forms of overt and covert power. I would say overt power is definitely seen in the Hunger Games. Like, you know, the Capitol is the most powerful. You know, that's who's in charge. You can clearly see that they're kind of just a pawn in their game. The different cultures in the Hunger Games. Because at first you don't think about the fact that the Capitol doesn't provide anyone. The Capitol is just kind of watching. And when the people come to the Capitol before the Hunger Games, they're just like celebrities. It'd be like if we brought all of the celebrities in, and then instead of acting or having a concert, they were like killing each other. It's weird. It's crazy to think about. And then covert power kind of makes me think of Divergent because you don't really realize at first how certain, what's the word for what they are? Certain groups, I'm going to say groups, have more power over others. Like the group that really values peace and honesty, they don't seem to have as much power as the group that values knowledge, because people that value knowledge, they have all this technology, they have so much going for them, and you see, like, they have so much knowledge that they know what can go wrong. And I'm just gonna call Kate Winslet the bad guy because I cannot remember her character's name, but she has like covert power. You don't realize that she is the bad guy because you don't realize that she has so much power in the system until you get into the movie more. But like looking at the system as a whole, in Divergent versus Hunger Games, the people in Divergent seem to have it much more have a much more fair system versus in the Hunger Games, it's very clear who has the power, that it's an unfair system, and it's very relevant from the beginning. Citizens are oppressed, obviously, in these films. Um, the districts, some of them just what they manufacture can get more money, get more profit, is seen as more valuable. Like the fishermen versus the people who mine coal, and then the places that they're in, not like the places, but what they do, just kind of creates an environment that isn't really conducive to like a good life. Like the people in District 12, it kind of goes like 1 through 12. Like 6 through 12 is pretty poor, 1 through 6 is doing pretty well, and then 13's like disappeared and all that stuff. But you can definitely see that they're easily controlled. They're very, very, very oppressed. They're just suffering. They're all starving. And then there are like the guys in white uniforms who are running around and they're just like scared to death of them. No one ever speaks up. Katniss is like definitely an oddball for hunting. She's not supposed to be doing that. She's climbing over the fence, breaking out because she needs to feed her family. Um, and in the beginning, when like the uproars and the protests began, um, protesting the Capitol and the power they have over them, you definitely see the control is kept very easily at first. Like they're very scared of the guards. They're they back them very easily when people are injured or killed, or when they stand back up against them. But over time, as we know, it calms down. Unless if you haven't seen the film. Exploitation is obvious because the districts are suffering for the entertainment of the capital, of the capital. They're being exploited for, just like this, they're like celebrities. They're being exploited for like that aspect of meeting someone cool and the experience. And then, I mean, it's literally a television show. It's like The Bachelor, but violent. That's what The Hunger Games is. It's crazy. And the characters are complicit in the oppression. I would say, for one, the people in the capital are actively aware of what's happening in the films, like the films before the games, when they see the environments that the participants are living in. They like have sympathy, kind of, but they don't care that they are living with so much wealth and the people in the other districts are so poor, which I guess speaks volumes about, it's like directly related to us. But sorry, I just lost what I was looking at. And then, like, Katniss actively disobeys laws. She climbs over fences to get food. She steals sometimes. She does what she needs to keep her family alive. She's breaking the rules. She knows about it. And then resistance is present and it's possible. At the end of the film, Katniss and Peeta decide that they can't live without each other, so they say they're gonna just eat the poison berries. And then the people in charge of the show, the Hunger Games, stop everything. They're like, no, 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 you can both win. You're both the winners, blah, blah, blah. So that sparks this huge resistance because people are like, well, if they can stop the capital from doing something, we can stop it. We can break our way out of this like completely oppressive system and get some equality, which is crazy. And then in Divergent, you see resistance when Kate Winslet is trying to control everyone with her weird serum thing. The people in Divergent resist and they find ways to overcome this and fight through it, and they banner together to overthrow that government so that they can be free and find different ways to work together. Because one thing back to oppression in that, once you, in Divergent, if you don't pass like the tests to get into whatever tribe you choose, sorry, I can't remember the words, then you're out, you're homeless, you're living on the streets, like you can't go to a different group, you don't have a backup plan. If you fail, it's over. And then a lot of people die too, so they're being like, the homeless people, I can't remember what they're called, I don't know, I can't remember what they're called. They're just homeless. They're done. And the only people that really help them are the abnegation, the really selfless people. That's about all you have there. And then my thought. For the question, why is it important to adopt a critical perspective to fully understand communication in an organization? I said because in an organization it would help you to see the extremes that could be attained and that you want to avoid. But it does give you an idea of parameters of what could be possible, and it helps you to get a perspective on how the organization could be ran or run. And it also gives perspective on our world as a whole. I think it was really cool how reading the chapter with the thought of The Hunger Games or Divergent or any other films in mind, I thought that really was cool. And then I got my question from something that my dad says because he's silly. Whenever we see these movies, he constantly thinks, and we've seen on Twitter, do you think that our world, our nation, whatever, in the future, however far away, could start to exhibit some of the themes and aspects that we see in these films and that are in our text? Do you think that we are on our way to a more critical regime? And I'm just going to apologize for how fast I talk and how spacey I may have been. I'm sorry. But thanks for watching all 9 minutes of this. Have a good day.